Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a report from GCT Semiconductor Holding. Get ready because there might be some stock shenanigans or maybe not, who knows. That's what we're here to find out. In this report, GCT Semiconductor announced they are selling a bunch of stock and warrants to some investors to raise money. We'll break down exactly what that means, what warrants are, why they're doing it, and what it could mean for current shareholders. Is this a good move, or are they just diluting the stock? If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come join us. This is a Form 8K, which is basically an announcement a company makes when something important happens. In this case, it's about a deal they made to sell shares and warrants. The date of the event was May 15, 2025. The company we are talking about is GCT Semiconductor Holding, Inc. They're registered in Delaware. The date of the earliest event reported is May 15, 2025. That's the day they entered into this agreement to sell stock and warrants. If you want to find them on the stock market, their common stock trades under the symbol GCTS and their warrants trade under GCTSW on the NYSE. This filing indicates that GCT Semiconductor is an emerging growth company. This means they get some breaks on certain regulations. Here's where things get interesting. This section talks about a purchase agreement they entered into with some investors. Basically, GCT Semiconductor is selling shares of its stock and warrants to these investors. They're selling 6,370 shares of their common stock. That's a lot of shares. They're also selling warrants that allow the investors to buy up to 10,500 and 9,555 more shares in the future. Think of warrants like coupons for future stock purchases. All of this is going to bring in about $11 million before expenses. They plan to use this money for working capital and other general business needs. Here's what a warrant is. It allows the holder to buy shares of the company's stock at a specific price, which in this case is $1.71. So if the stock price goes above 1.71 cents, these warrants become valuable. The SEC already gave the okay for them to issue these stocks, so it's registered with the SEC. To make this happen, they hired Roth Capital Partners LLC to find buyers for these stocks and warrants. Roth is getting paid a fee for this. Roth is getting 7% of the money raised. That's a decent chunk of change. The company's directors and executives have agreed not to sell any of their own shares for 60 days. This is called a lockup agreement, and it's supposed to prevent them from cashing out right after the company sells these new shares. GCT Semiconductor has also agreed not to do any more of these kinds of deals where the price of the stock changes based on certain factors for 6 months after the deal. There's a legal opinion from a law firm confirming that issuing these stocks and warrants is legal. The company put out a press release announcing that they priced this offering. You can see the actual press release as Exhibit 99.1 and it confirms the pricing of the offering. So what does all of this mean? Basically, GCT Semiconductor needed money and they got it by selling new shares of stock and warrants. This raises some cash for the company. However, it does dilute the existing shares, meaning that each share now represents a smaller piece of the company. The warrants could also lead to further dilution in the future if they are exercised. It also means that investors who bought the stock before this offering might not be thrilled that the value of their shares have gone down. Now, looking at these actions more broadly, GCT Semiconductor is clearly trying to raise capital to fund their operations. This suggests they might not be generating enough cash on their own to sustain the business. We don't have enough information here to make a final judgment. It's important to keep an eye on how they use this money and whether it leads to real growth and profitability. Alright, that's our breakdown of GCT Semiconductor's latest filing. What's your take on these moves and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.